I don't know if you guys saw this, but we have a new black billionaire, Tyler Perry. Forbes just reported that Tyler Perry is he's worth $1 billion. So yeah, Tyler Perry, new billionaire, and I guess I heard an interesting conversation where somebody black dude, he was like, congrats to Tyler Perry. However, the way he got there was putting on that dress every day, and he goes, I don't know if it would be worth it for me to get to that position via putting on this dress.
Cap. That is Captain America. That's the king of capping right there.
LeClerc got his red bottoms ready to go. Where that wig at?
Say when. Billy. He lying if he's saying he was. Also, let's not pretend that he got it. He made a Billy dressing up as a woman. That's not how you make a Billy.
Well,
smart. He was investing. He was producing. He was directing. He was writing. Medea, that woman that he played, was a small part of an enterprise. So for him to reduce it that way is such a mischaracterization of the hustle that went into him
100%.
making a Billy.
100%.
I think of everyone, of any person, any public figure, I have changed my take on Tyler Perry more than anybody. Like, I don't think there's anyone I've had more of an evolution of thought about. Because, like, I used to make fun of Tyler Perry. I used to have jokes about Tyler Perry. But you know what? This man is an inspiration. He was homeless. He was a homeless person. And he now has $1 billion. And he did it by building a very black enterprise. I mean, an exclusively black enterprise where he employed black people. He bought land and built a studio for black people to do work in. I mean, he bought land that was a freaking Confederate freaking base back in the day. And now it's just the center of black enterprise in Atlanta for making film productions, doing Wild 'N Out and all that stuff down there. I mean, this man is an inspiration, and I owe him an apology. I owe him a public apology for the many mockeries that I've bestowed early in my career, which is all completely just like completely wrongheaded.
This is what I feel. I don't think it's wrongheaded, and I still mock him. You can mock his art and respect his hustle. Like, I respect his hustle a great deal. I respect what he's done and how he got there. He can still put out terrible movies and horrible TV shows. Like, I'll still make fun of his shit all day. But at the end of the day, how he gets his bread or the art that he chooses to make, Jay-Z said it best. What you eat don't make me shit, Yeah. Like, so whatever he chooses to make, and that's his art, and that's how he does it, that's how he does it. I think that the anger that most people or black people who have a problem with his movies or with his whatever is not Tyler Perry. Like, I think people's anger, black people's anger is misdirected. It's not Tyler Perry is as much as it is the lack of opportunities for many other black people to do other things. Now we're seeing, a little bit of a black renaissance where we're seeing different voices come out. But at the time where Tyler Perry was really coming up, he was dominating with Medea. And it was like, when you thought black movie, it was Tyler Perry. When you thought black director, Tyler Perry. And for people who, who do look at his work as like cooning and buffooning, that's hard to take in when it feels like your culture and your image is being held captive by someone else who's from your same community on some bullshit. Having said that, it ain't his fault, that he's getting on with his shit. Like, go make your own. If you don't like what he's putting out, go make your own or go start your own revolution. So yeah, I say shout out to him, and and the dude I'm talking about is Boyce Watkins. He's a very militant dude on the internet, but even he had to give him his props for like how he came up. So, and people would have made money doing way worse shit. Like, we the hardest on our own people. It's literally billionaires off of like motherfucking drug cartels and shit, and like
also like all these people who are talking about like cooning and buffooning and setting us back. This man employed more black people than anyone in Hollywood in the last decade. Plus,
say that again. Say that again, Clint. I ain't hear you.
this
Say
man
louder.
employed more black people than anyone. You know what? Probably in the history of Hollywood.
Say it with
So,
your chest, Khalid.
This man,
Come
he's
on.
an inspiration. He's an inspiration. We got to give this man his flowers while he's here. How about that?
Definitely give him his flowers. Definitely give him his flowers. I'm not watching Nan Medea movie, but I'll give him his flowers in business.
We be the first ones. We be the first ones. You don't hear Joe Rogan or Kelly Clarkson or talking about, yo, black people, look at Tyler Perry, he's the worst, he's a millionaire. It be us. It be us every time. Why can't we just celebrate? We don't get that many W's. We really don't.
Yeah.
The moment we get one, there's always one. Somebody got to stand up like, man, but he did it wearing a dress. Shut up. Stop it.
Also, it's very snobbish to just dismiss all those movies because those movies made a lot of people laugh. They're not for me personally, but I didn't grow up in the tradition of the black church in the South like he did. I know a lot of like people from that community love those movies. I know he made plays early on in his career for black church community in the South. And that's how he kind of got on and got his whole business going. So I can't hate on that, man. That stuff's just not for me.
Khalid, you brought up a really good point. People talk about Tyler Perry's movies as if that's where it started. But the reality is he was working in plays, writing and starring in his own place for a long time. And that Medea character, the reason it worked on film is because it was proven to work in plays. And once it worked so many times, sold out play after sold out play, and they were selling DVDs of those plays, and those were selling out. That's what gave him permission and license to make the movies that he's making. So let's not talk about Medea movies like, oh, they're the worst. They're not the worst. They're proven to work. They did good numbers. The plays were phenomenal. They did great numbers. So this idea that we can discredit him at this point, he's a billionaire. Go do something with yourself.
100%.
Yes.
And I'm expecting y'all, when Shucky Ducky Quack Quack drops his Netflix special, I'm expecting rave reviews from both of y'all Negroes.
I'm sending in a tape right now. I'm working on my Shucky Ducky.
I'm expecting rave reviews. Yeah. 100%. He's a billionaire. There's many things I would do to get that Billy. So let's not act like we wouldn't. And those movies, listen, my granny and them, they all rock with those movies. So he definitely knows his audience. He knows his brand, and he sticks with what works. So, like I said, if you don't like it, then go make your own, you know? And that's just what it is.